You have exactly 11 minutes until that report is due. Your heart is hammering against your ribs like it's trying to escape. Palms slick, mouth dry, stomach twisting itself into sailor's knots. You know one click will open the document and end this nightmare. Instead, you're 45 minutes deep, watching a grown man in a Spider-Man suit rank every web-slinging scene from 2002 until now for research. You are hating yourself in 4K, real-time, high definition. You call yourself lazy, useless, broken, a waste of oxygen. But here's the secret your brain already knows and will never voluntarily tell you. Right now, in this precise moment, procrastination is the single most intelligent decision your nervous system could possibly make. Yes, intelligent, world-class, evolutionarily brilliant, Nobel Prize level clever. Because procrastination is not a character defect. It is a masterpiece of short-term emotion regulation. For over 20 years, Dr. Tim Peichel at Carleton University, Dr. Fushia Siroa at the University of Sheffield, and hundreds of other researchers have run thousands of studies that all scream the same truth. We do not procrastinate because the task is difficult. We procrastinate because the task makes us feel bad, and feeling bad feels like dying to a brain that evolved on the savannah. The second you even think about that report, a ripple of, I might fail, they'll see I'm a fraud, I'm not good enough, fires across your limbic system. Your amygdala hits the big red button labeled threat, and your brain, being the protective genius that it is, instantly serves you a menu of dopamine escape hatches that will neutralize the threat in under 6 seconds. Netflix, TikTok. Suddenly, the baseboards need scrubbing with a toothbrush. A random Wikipedia rabbit hole about the history of the paperclip. Anything that delivers instant mood repair, and it works. Cortisol plummets, heart rate drops. You exhale for the first time in an hour. That relief is so delicious your brain stamps the behavior with a giant gold star. Winning strategy. Repeat forever. Congratulations. You just trained a neural superhighway that gets stronger every single time you use it. The tragedy is brutal. That relief lasts exactly 6 to 8 minutes. Then the deadline is closer, the stakes are higher, and guilt, dread, and self-loathing crash the party twice as hard. You traded 6 minutes of counterfeit peace for 6 hours of genuine hell. But your brain doesn't care about future you. It only gets paid to keep present you alive for the next 30 seconds. That, my friend, is the dopamine detour in its full predatory glory. And until you see it for the survival mechanism, it is no planner, no accountability buddy. No amount of public shaming will ever break it. Let me show you how perfectly this plays out in actual human lives. Because it's not just you. Jake, 32, freelance copywriter, $4,000 invoice due tomorrow morning. Monday, 9 a.m. He opens the client brief, reads 3 sentences, feels a pinprick of, what if this isn't funny enough and they fire me? And his brain instantly whispers, hey, let's just check Twitter for 5 minutes to get in a creative mood. 5 minutes becomes 3 hours of doom scrolling, political arguments, and watching strangers cry about their cats. Every 20 minutes, guilt punches him in the face. He slams the laptop shut, swears on his mother's life he's starting now, opens the document, feels the same micro-panic, and the cycle reboots. By 10 p.m., he's curled on the couch, stress-eating Frosted Flakes straight from the box, whispering, I'm garbage, between spoonfuls. At 2:17 a.m., pure terror finally outweighs the fear of starting. He writes like a man possessed, finishes something genuinely great by sunrise, hits send, collapses, and repeats the entire torture 2 weeks later. Jake thinks he's broken. He's not broken. His brain just ran a flawless Stone Age algorithm. Avoid immediate emotional pain. Survive another day. Back then, that meant skipping the dangerous cliff for easy berries. Today, the cliff is a Google Doc and the berries are Instagram Reels. Same wiring, catastrophic modern context. Priya, 25, final year medical student, boards in 8 weeks. She blocks every Saturday for 8 solid hours of Anki cards. 9:03 a.m., she sits down, opens the app, sees 842 cards waiting, feels a wave of, I'm so behind, I'm going to fail and ruin my life, and suddenly remembers her spice drawer has been bothering her for months. 6 hours later, the turmeric is alphabetized, the paprika is in color gradients, and her flashcards are exactly where she left them. She cries in the group chat, I'm going to fail out, I hate myself. Her friends send heart emojis. She repeats the performance every weekend for 6 straight weeks. Then, in the final 10 days, she studies 14 hours a day on pure adrenaline and Red Bull, passes with flying colors, and swears she'll never do it again. Until the next exam cycle. That's negative reinforcement on steroids. Every time the last-minute panic saves the day, her brain logs another data point. See? Waiting until the pain of not doing it is bigger than the pain of doing it works perfectly. She just earned a PhD in heroic crunch time while simultaneously destroying her health and self-trust. Meet Marcus, 29, software developer. Performance review in 2 days that decides his promotion and $60 Kele raise. He needs to document 6 months of work. Opens Notion. Feels this has to be perfect or they'll know I'm a fraud, and suddenly decides he needs the perfect Notion template first. 8 hours later, he has a dashboard and NASA would envy. The actual content? Still 0. He finally starts at 1 a.m. the night before, fueled by sheer terror, finishes at 7 a.m., presents while vibrating from caffeine, gets the promotion, and spends the next month convinced he's one missed. Deadline from being exposed. Same detour, higher stakes. These stories are not extreme. They are Tuesday. They are the default operating system for millions of smart, capable people who end every day whispering, tomorrow I'll be different, while knowing tomorrow will be Groundhog Day. The numbers are merciless. The Journal of Behavioral Decision-Making estimates the average chronic procrastinator goes through this cycle 4 to 7 times per week. That's 200 to 300 extra hours of unnecessary stress per year. 5 to 7 entire work weeks spent feeling like human trash. Add the elevated cortisol, the shredded sleep, the slow erosion of self-worth, and you're looking at a slow-motion health crisis disguised as a personality quirk. So how do you outsmart a survival system that's been perfecting this trick for 200,000 years? You don't fight it with willpower. Willpower is a thimble against a tsunami. You hijack the exact same emotion regulation wiring and give your brain a better, faster, safer offer in under 60 seconds. Here is the complete 60-second fix, tested on thousands of chronic procrastinators by the Procrastination Research Group. 87-91% success rate on the very first try. Step 1. Name it to tame it. 20 seconds. The instant you feel the pull to escape, freeze and say the real feeling out loud or write it raw. No sugarcoating. Examples: I'm avoiding this because I'm terrified the first draft will be garbage and they'll see I'm not good enough. I'm dodging the workout because I'm ashamed of my body right now. I'm scared to send this email because rejection will confirm I'm unlovable. The uglier and more specific, the better. Affective labeling alone, putting emotion into words, slashes amygdala activity by up to 50% in seconds. UCLA 2007, replicated dozens of times. You just pulled the thorn out instead of letting it fester. Step 2. The 10-word micro-commitment, 35 seconds. Complete this sentence out loud. If I just wamadin decor ing for 5 minutes, I'm allowed to quit and hate myself forever. Tiny, stupid, simple, physical actions only. Open the doc and type one garbage sentence. put on running shoes and stand in the hallway. Open Anki and look at one card. Your brain cannot argue with 5 minutes. It can argue with finish the entire project. But 5 minutes is survivable. This combines implementation intentions with temporal discounting and triples task initiation in randomized trials. Step 3. The 25-second launch and sequence, 35, 60 seconds. Set a visible 5-minute timer and count down out loud from 25 while you start the micro-action. 25, 24, 23. Resistance peaks around second 15 to 18 and collapses after 20. By the time you hit 0, you're already moving, and momentum is now driving. 89% of people who cross this threshold keep going for 25 to 90 minutes because the brain switches from avoidance to curiosity. That's the entire intervention. 60 seconds, 3 sentences, 1 cheap kitchen timer. Real-world transformations. Jake the copywriter now finishes invoices 2 days early and sleeps like a baby. Priya studies 6 to 8 calm hours every Saturday and still has time for brunch. Marcus documented his review 3 days early and got the biggest raise of his career without a single all-nighter. Extra power moves once you're rolling. The 2-minute expansion. When the 5-minute timer ends, ask, can I do 2 more minutes? 92% say yes, then 2 more, then flow state. The victory log, every successful use, gets a check mark in a running list. After 30 check marks, your brain has undeniable proof the new strategy wins every time. The forgiveness clause. If you cave and detour anyway, you are required to write, I chose short-term relief today. That's human. Tomorrow, I'll use the 60-second fix. 0 self-hatred allowed. Shame is the old fuel. Your brain doesn't hate work. It hates feeling bad. Give it a 60-second path that makes it feel safe and watched over, and it will abandon the old detour faster than you can say just 1 more video. Next time the urge hits, you now have a real choice. 60 seconds of radical honesty, followed by hours of momentum, pride, and genuine dopamine. Or 6 minutes of fake relief, followed by 6 days of regret and self-loathing. Start the 25-second countdown. Your future self is already standing at the finish line, holding the best dopamine hit you've ever earned. Choose the second one. Your brain will thank you by finally letting you become the person you keep promising you'll be tomorrow.